So after a good cleaning, they're spinning freely because there's no grease in them whatsoever. And by the way, these are 9RS types, and this is installed in such a way that I don't think I actually want to risk trying to remove them at this point in time. So we're just going to repack them as they are, and we can repack both sides. Using a toothbrush with some dish soap, and we have a coil that's looking a lot better and smelling a lot better. It's never going to be perfect. We're certainly very abused, but it's in pretty good shape. So, isn't that nice? That turned out. Alright. Some pins back in here. Oh, I don't think I need that. That just went off being by itself. Okay. Oh, that's good. Okay, so this piece here is looking pretty good. I think I still might use some JB weld on it to strengthen some of these inner spots, especially when I put the long bolts back in there. This is going to be very fiddly because I'm going to have to go and try to figure out exactly where this goes on that shaft, and I'm going to have to constantly check the alignments right in here. I mean, it's not that hard to do, but I'm going to have to do that off camera because it involves a lot of, well, a lot of messing about. Well, after seemingly forever, this motor's back together again. Commutator's been polished. That front bearing. This motor, okay, was never really meant to be worked on as far as that front bearing. It's a blind bearing, which means it doesn't really seat anywhere. It doesn't have any fixed marks that it rubs up against that you can easily seat it against. So the whole motor in some cases is kind of held together by that front bearing from, you know, the shaft moving back and forth. Now you can get to the rear bearing. That's pretty easy. You take those bolts out, slide this cover off, and you can completely re-lube that rear bearing. That's not a problem, and it's not hard to polish the commutator. You have room in there to actually get a seating stone in. But that front bearing, oh, what a mess. So hopefully this thing stays together when we actually put power to it here. So this little tab right here is broken. I don't know how long it's been broken for. This one right here is okay, and it holds down this part of the motor all right. This one, yeah, it literally doesn't hold anything. So I'm going to insert a safety screw, and the thing is, it has spots for screws, so not a big deal. I'll just put an extra one in here. There. Now I feel a lot better with that in there. All right, let's see. Let's see how bad it sounds. Not exactly the smoothest thing in the world. So, oh well. It's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so this brush roll is basically toast. The bearings are bad. I didn't want to bother to get another brush roll because I have more of these. So here's the one from this guy. Now let's see how this actually runs with something that's in a little better condition. Right here, yeah, down. Alright, so I'm just going to keep this as a machine for, like, say, spare parts. I'll put this in, but I'm not going to use it because obviously it vibrates too much. So you know what, for safety's sake and storage, I'll just put that in there. I'll put this over here. Close that up. And now I will have a PN-2E that has pretty much everything working except for the brush roll. So obviously I need to switch out for a brush roll that's in good working condition. So awful lot of work to go through, but at least I have a fairly reconditioned PN-2E minus the brush roll. Alright, so thanks for watching, staying with me with this awful refurb, such as it is, and stay tuned for more.